The rain pounded against the tin roof of the small hut, each drop echoing like a hammer on Maya's heart. She sat on the dirt floor, her knees pulled to her chest, staring at the crumpled piece of paper in her hand, a contract, scrawled in hasty ink, that severed her from the only family she'd known. Her mother-in-law's words still burned in her ears, "You're useless to us. Barren. A burden." Sold for a few thousand rupees to a neighboring family as a housemaid, Maya, at 25, felt her worth reduced to nothing more than a transaction. But this was not the end of her story, it was the beginning of a journey that would redefine love, family, and her own strength. Maya had married Arjun 3 years earlier, her heart full of dreams spun from the vibrant festivals of their village in rural India. She imagined a home filled with children's laughter, a life woven with love. But months turned into years, and no child came. Arjun's affection waned, replaced by silence, while his mother, Kamla, grew venomous. "A woman who cannot bear a son is no woman at all," Kamla spat daily, her words slicing deeper than any knife. The village whispered, their pitying glances heavier than scorn. Maya prayed, visited healers, drank bitter concoctions, but nothing changed. Her womb remained empty, and with it, her hope eroded. One humid evening, Kamla called Maya to the courtyard. A man stood there, stout and sweating, his eyes scanning her like livestock. "She's strong enough for housework," Kamla said, negotiating as if Maya were a sack of rice. Arjun stood by, head bowed, saying nothing. The deal was struck, 5,000 rupees for Maya's labor in the man's household. Her belongings, meager as they were packed into a single cloth bag. As she was led away, Maya looked back, hoping for a flicker of regret in Arjun's eyes. There was none. The new household was a prison of drudgery. Maya scrubbed floors, cooked meals, and washed clothes until her hands bled, her new family treating her as invisible unless they needed something. The wife, Shalini, was crueler than Kamla, mocking Maya's childlessness with barbed comments. "No wonder they sold you," she sneered. "What man would keep a barren wife?" Maya swallowed the pain, her spirit shrinking with each passing day. At night, she lay on a thin mat in the corner of the kitchen, dreaming of escape but seeing no path forward. One morning, while fetching water from the village well, Maya met Vikram. He was a widower, his face etched with quiet grief, pushing a rickety cart where his 4-year-old twins, Ria and Rohan, sat giggling. The children's laughter pierced Maya's numbness, stirring something she hadn't felt in years, hope. Vikram noticed her watching and smiled gently. "They're a handful," he said, his voice warm. "But they're my world." Maya managed a shy nod, her heart aching at the love in his eyes for his children. Over weeks, their chance meetings at the well became a ritual. Vikram spoke of his late wife, who died during childbirth, and the twins he raised alone. Maya shared fragments of her story, her voice trembling as she spoke of her shame. Vikram's kindness was a lifeline. One evening, as the sun dipped low, he found her crying by the well, her hands raw from scrubbing. "You don't deserve this," he said softly. "You're more than what they've made you feel." His words cracked something open in Maya, and she wept openly, telling him everything, her marriage, the betrayal, the sale. Vikram listened, his jaw tight with anger, but his eyes soft with empathy. "Come with me," he said. "My home isn't much, but it's safe. You'll be family, not a servant." Maya hesitated, fear whispering that she was unworthy, but the twins' laughter echoed in her mind. She nodded. Vikram's home was modest, a single room with peeling paint and a small courtyard where Ria and Rohan played. The twins, curious and fearless, tugged at Maya's sari, asking for stories. She hesitated at first, unsure of her place, but their warmth disarmed her. She began telling them tales of brave princesses in magical forests, her voice finding strength. Vikram watched, his quiet presence steadying her. But life wasn't easy. The village gossiped about the barren woman living with the widower, and Shalini, furious at losing her servant, spread lies that Maya was a thief. The whispers followed Maya to the market, stinging like thorns. The greatest challenge came when Kamla appeared at Vikram's door, demanding Maya's return. "She belongs to us," Kamla hissed, waving the contract. "You've no right to her." Vikram stood firm, his voice calm but unyielding. "She's not property. She's free to choose her life." The twins clung to Maya, their small hands anchoring her. For the first time, Maya spoke up, her voice trembling but clear. "I'm not going back. I'm done being your shame. Kamla laughed, defeated, but the confrontation shook Maya. She feared she'd brought trouble to Vikram's quiet life. Vikram, however, was unshaken. He taught Maya to read and write, skills she'd never had time to learn, and encouraged her to start a small sewing business. The twins became her shadow, calling her Ma in moments that made her heart swell. Slowly, Maya rebuilt herself, stitching together not just fabric but her sense of worth. She faced the village's judgment with her head high, her laughter mingling with Ria and Rohan's. Vikram never asked for more than her friendship, but their bond deepened, rooted in mutual respect and shared burdens. One evening, as the twins slept, Maya and Vikram sat under the stars. I used to think I was broken, she said, her voice steady now. But I'm not. I'm enough. Vikram smiled, his eyes reflecting the starlight. You always were. Their hands brushed, a quiet promise of something more, but Maya knew she didn't need a man to complete her. She had found family, not in blood, but in love. Years later, Maya stood in the village square, now a respected seamstress, teaching other women to sew and read. Ria and Rohan, now 10, ran through the crowd, their laughter as bright as ever. Vikram watched from a distance, proud. The village no longer whispered about the barren woman, they spoke of Maya, the woman who turned pain into purpose. Her story wasn't one of rescue, but of resilience, a reminder that worth isn't measured by what you lack, but by the love you give and the strength you find within. And to you, watching this story unfold, know this, your struggles don't define you. Like Maya, you have the power to rewrite your story, to find family in unexpected places, and to rise above the voices that try to dim your light. You are enough.